It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Colin Burton posted a 2:10.930 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Rob Keane's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:03.485. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Colin Burton has a best lap time of 2:10.930. Look at Mr. Bango, they're really giving it some jangle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car is performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Sunrider's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:05.357. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
With just 171 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Mr. Bang is really opening up the taps now, their first flyer of the session. This is where we start to see what Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione has got under the hood.
That's right, Rob. They're shaking off the cobwebs and really starting to push. It's all about finding that sweet spot between speed and control on the circuit.
Sunoiler crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 8:04.481. They're getting to grips with Antalya Autodrome main, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Alright, Colin Burton has put down a 2:07.094. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Wayne Pearson posted 2:06.589 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There's the first flying lap for Colin Burton, hitting 2:07.094. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mr. Bang posted a 2:04.899 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Megasaurus 55's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:08.390. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:06.254. Mr. Bang crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:04.653. They're getting to grips with Antalya Autodrome Main, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Sunoiler's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:02.630. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Alright, Dylan Franch has put down a 3:13.208. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
With just 161 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
There's the first flying lap for Sunoiler, hitting 2:13.607. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mr. Bang posted 2:05.655 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:06.254. Megasaurus55 posted a 4:14.477 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Dylan Franch crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:07.922. They're getting to grips with Antalya Autodrome Main, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Alright, Megasaurus55 has put down a 2:01.898. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Rob Keane has a best lap time of 2:03.485. It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
With just 154 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. The engines are revving up and the drivers are ready to hit the gas pedal for this qualifying session at Antalya Autodrome Main. Dylan Franch is on their outlap.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused while also pushing the limits.
Megasaurus 55 has positioned themselves well in second during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Impressive work from Rob Always Keen, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
I completely agree, Rob. Keen has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Impressive display by Maybe Today's Satan, currently sitting in position 5. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. And there goes Wayne Pearson, currently in position 7. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. A mesmerizing display from Megasaurus 55 in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Megasaurus 55 is displaying an exceptional level of skill and confidence. They are in a class of their own and have taken control of this qualification session.
Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Colin Burton has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Sunoiler has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Colin Burton as they currently sit in 5th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Colin Burton has completed their first flying lap in 2:05.027. Currently in 7th, Sunoiler has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies at Sunoiler has completed their outlap. Incredible drive by Wayne Pearson so far, earning them 5th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
Great analysis, Rob. Wayne Pearson has shown excellent pace to secure 5th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
Mr. Bang has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. O'Hagan has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Mike has done a fantastic job to claim 9th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Mike has completed their outlap. A solid performance from Dylan Franch as they currently hold position 7. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Absolutely, Rob. Dylan Franch has shown great potential to secure 7th.
Dylan Franch has just completed a lap in 2:05.046. Let's see if they can improve on that time further. A solid qualifying performance by Patrick Schwanz, positioning them in 9th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the front. Patrick Schwanz has completed their outlap. Impressive work from Maybe Today Satan, who has claimed 5th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing. It's a stellar performance from Maybe Today Satan, clinching 5th.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
It's an impressive showing by Mr. Bang, currently in 9th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Mike has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Sunoiler as they currently sit in 3rd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Sunoiler has just completed that lap in 2:02.490. Their best lap so far is 2:02.490. Putting them in P3. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Currently in 7th, Mr. Bang has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves impressively in 7th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
And there goes Dylan Franch, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Dylan Franch has some work to do, as that 2:03.463 is only good enough for 7th. Impressive display by Colin Burton, currently sitting in position 10. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Colin Burton's current position of 10th reflects that
it's about time Colin Burton considered a different approach. With a 2:04.778, they're stuck in 10th. Maybe a change in brake bias could give him more control in those hard braking zones.
That's a solid point, Rob. Better braking control means they can brake later and harder, making up precious time in the corners.
What a performance from Sunoiler. They currently occupy 3rd on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favourable starting spot?
Absolutely, Rob. Sunoiler has put in a remarkable effort to secure 3rd. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
A solid performance from Patrick Schwanz as they currently hold position 4. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Sunoiler has positioned themselves well in 3rd during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
Great analysis, Rob. Sunoiler has shown excellent pace to secure 3rd. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
Sunoiler will be happy having put themselves into 3rd in this qualifying session. Impressive work from O'Hagan, who has claimed 5th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. It's an impressive showing by maybe today Satan, currently in 6th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? A solid qualifying performance by Colin Burton, positioning them in 10th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. strong showing from maybe today's Satan as they currently sit in 6th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Incredible drive by Colin Burton so far, earning them 10th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? And there goes Dylan Franch, currently in position 7. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Maybe today Satan has put in a great effort and currently holds 6th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
I completely agree, Rob. Maybe today's Satan has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Impressive display by Dylan Franch, currently sitting in position 7. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Maybe today Satan has secured a respectable 6th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Seems like maybe today Satan's struggling to find the sweet spot with their Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione. Sitting in 6th with a time of 2:04.724, they might want to consider adjusting the suspension setup for better handling.
Yeah, tuning the suspension could improve cornering stability, Rob. It's all about finding that balance between agility and stability on a technical track like this.
You've joined us on a breezy day here at Antalya Autodrome, Maine, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Rob, but I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this one.
Rob Keane has got the inside track starting from pole position. We see Megasaurus 55 sitting in the 2nd spot. Taking off from the 3rd grid slot is the skilled driver, Patrick Schwanz.
I think we are all looking forward to seeing what Patrick Schwanz can do from here.
Sunoiler has qualified 4th. Mike O'Hagan is 5th.
O'Hagan is looking on for a strong result.
Starting from the 6th position, maybe today Satan will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. In the middle of the pack, we have Dylan Franch starting from the 7th position on the grid.
Another mid-pack start for Dylan Franch.
Wayne Pearson is placed in 8th.
They'll be looking for a clean race.
As the engines roar to life, Mr. Bang prepares to take off from the 9th position on the starting grid. Our 10th place starter, Colin Burton, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track.
Colin Burton is going to show us something special, I'm sure of it.
such alacrity, the race has unfurled. This initial gambit is where strategies will either flourish or falter.
Precision is everything during these initial stages. One wrong move could cost them valuable time or even force them out of the race.
So Rob Keynes decided to play it cool, holding onto one like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
I for one am really excited, Rob. The rivalry between Rob Keane and Megasaurus 55 has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all. I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Antalya Autodrome main, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on. The drivers are jockeying for position. Wayne Pearson will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
The first lap can always be a bit of a bun fight as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
Colin Burton could be looking for a way up the inside of Mr. Bang. Hold on to your hats. Mike O'Hagan is gunning for Rob Always Keen. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? It's an intense battle for position as maybe today Satan tries to outmaneuver Dylan French. This is edge of your seat racing. A great pass for maybe today's Satan as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Dylan French has lost ground.
If this were chess, I'd say maybe today's Satan just put Dylan Franz in check. Brilliant move.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Wayne Pearson is right behind Dylan French, keeping the pressure on for 7th place.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Wayne Pearson looked like overtaken, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Wayne Pearson and Dylan French have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 1.0 seconds now. Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. A couple car lengths might not sound like much, but when you've got Mr. Bang breathing down your neck, it feels like a bloody eternity. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
Should things go awry, Rob and Megasaurus 55 might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Rob is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Stop the press. Blimey, Megasaurus 55 must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way.
If Megasaurus 55's trying to embody my self-esteem during puberty with that swerve, spot on. Just spot on.
Things are getting spicy as Dylan French is breathing down Wayne Pearson's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. The gap between Mr. Bang and Dylan French is razor thin as they vie for 8th in this nail-biting contest. I've been going over some historical stats, and the lap records at Antalya Autodrome have been shattered so many times.
It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of motorsport. What was once considered fast becomes the norm, and drivers and engineers are always pushing the envelope.
The adrenaline is pumping as incident alert. Blimey. Mike veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex. Fair dinkum, I reckon Mr. Bang's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Dylan French in the front.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
This is what it's all about, folks. Dylan French is in hot pursuit of Wayne Pearson, who's just trying to stay ahead.
If Dylan Franz isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Gee whiz, Mr. Bang is breathing down Dylan France's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Dylan France's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Rob is proper nipping at Megasaurus 55's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Rob must be laser-focused on Megasaurus 55's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
Oi, Rob, wouldn't want to be in Dylan France's shoes right now, would ya? Talk about a pressure cooker situation.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
This is what separates the good from the great. The ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
We're starting to see who really has the pace now in this race, as Mr. Bang is starting to climb all over the back of Wayne Pearson. Any closer and they may need to pop the boot.
Back in my racing days, I just let folks like Mr. Bang pass, but that's probably why I'm up here talking, not down there driving.
Things are heating up as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Rob. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. The intensity is off the charts as Colin Burton hounds Mr. Bang, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Great driving from Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a place and moved up to first.
It's like Megasaurus 55 had an extra shot of espresso or something, jetting up to first.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
Remember when we thought Rob had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Megasaurus 55's mirrors awfully busy.
This ain't Rob Always Keen's first rodeo. They're optimizing their racing line, reducing understeer. If Megasaurus 55 ain't nervous, they sure ought to be.
In the grand chessboard of racing, Rob, sorry to cut in here, bloody hell. Rob Always Keen just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon O'Hagan can catch some shade behind Rob Keen?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit. This is more than a race. It's a battle of wills, of nerve, of sheer determination.
We got a close battle as Mr. Bang closes in on Wayne Pearson. Blimey, Mr. Bang is dragging a bit, huh? If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards. Wayne Pearson's having a field day out there. From where we're sitting, Rob Always Keen seems unmovable from that fourth. Blimey, Rob just slipped up like a banana peel comedy, and Mike's having the last chuckle here.
Feels like Rob hit a patch of Carolina clay while Mike found the highway. That's right, they've got to stay focused and not let this setback affect their mindset. Meanwhile, Mike is showing some incredible skill and determination, and is now a serious threat to the other drivers on the track. Someone shook the board?
Seems so. Rob Keane's taken a slide, but knowing them, it's just a part of the dance.
It's a nuanced game, isn't it? Keane's position change might very well be a part of a broader strategy.
The battle for 5 is heating up as Wayne Pearson tries to catch Dylan Franch in P5.
The gap between them is now just over 0.6 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Wayne Pearson is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Dylan Franch to 0.4 seconds.
The way Wayne Pearson's conserving their energy while managing the ERS deployment? Pure artistry. They're sneaking up on Dylan Franch like a quiet storm.
The pursuit is on. Rob is closing the gap on Mr. Bang, determined to claim P7.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Rob Keane needs to be careful not to overdo it.
And Rob has just won the place from Mr. Bang. As we enjoy seeing these titans of the track battle it out, let's not forget about the pit crews. Those guys and girls are like a well-oiled machine themselves.
Absolutely. They're the unsung heroes of the racing world. But you know what they say, behind every great driver is an even greater pit crew.
By the looks of it, Wayne Pearson in 6th is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Dylan Franch. Hold on to your stubbies.
Well, butter my biscuit. Wayne Pearson's hot on Dylan Franch's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Antalya Autodrome, Maine today.
No room for error here. Rob is breathing down the neck of Wayne Pearson, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Alright, hold your horses. Wayne Pearson is really putting the heat on Dylan Franch. If I were Dylan Franch, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. Buckle up. Rob is all over Wayne Pearson like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
Rob, last time I saw Rob this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
Rob Keane just blitzed past Wayne Pearson like they were standing still.
Where there's a will, there's a relative. Did we just witness a gambit?
It seems Rob is recalibrating, now at 7th. Wayne Pearson wants to close that gap with Keane.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Rob Keane is sniffing around Dylan Franch like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 5th. Ripper of a move. Rob's not just in the race, they're owning it. G'day, 5th. Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Keane and Dylan Franch.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Mr. Bang and Wayne Pearson. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
Looks like Mr. Bang has got more moves than a cowboy in a honky-tonk bar. Wayne Pearson better watch out or he'll be two-stepped right off the track.
Bloody oath, Mr. Bang is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Wayne Pearson down to a scant 0.3 seconds.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
In a race where seconds count, Rob is counting on less of them between themselves and maybe today Satan. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Mr. Bang is etching their story in 7th.
They're not just driving, they're performing.
Breaking update. By the looks of it, Mr. Bang reckoned Antalya Autodrome Maine had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one. Wayne Pearson is running 6th. They are trying to catch Dylan Franch. Gee whiz, Wayne Pearson's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
Dang, Wayne Pearson's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Dylan Franz like a hound on a hot dog.
The gap between Patrick Schwanz in second and Megasaurus 55 remains over a second, but Patrick Schwanz is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 4 minutes?
It's going to be tough for Patrick Schwanz, as Megasaurus 55 seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Patrick Schwanz pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Rob must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
It's a game of inches now as Wayne Pearson tails Dylan Franch closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Oh, this is getting intense. Rob is just behind Wayne Pearson. Someone's revved up after lunch. Rob's blitzed ahead, claiming 6th.
Well, butter my biscuit. Rob's burning rubber and climbing up to 6th.
Wow, Wayne Pearson is really pushing hard to catch up to Rob. There's blood in the water for 6th place. Wayne Pearson needs to get more consistent. Hell, they have just put in a slower lap than Rob.
Can Wayne Pearson make a comeback?
Whoa there. Keane is sticking to Dylan Franch like glue. You reckon Dylan Franch is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. Crikey, Rob always Keane's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 5th. The action is non-stop as Dylan Franch shadows Keane through every twist and turn, determined to claim 5th. Someone should tell Rob Keane this ain't a Sunday drive. Dylan Franch is tearing up the track. I'm curious, Hal, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals helped me feel prepared and focused.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Rob is breathing down the neck of Dylan Franch, not giving him any room to relax. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
It's a close race between Keane and Dylan Franch in 5th.
With Rob on the hunt, Dylan Franz better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Rob's just rocketed into 5th. During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping? Wait, whoa. Colin Burton took that corner like my Uncle Baz after a 6-pack, all over the shop. Hold on to your hats, folks. Wayne Pearson is right on the heels of Dylan Franch, and we're in for a wild ride. I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Wayne Pearson's just breezed into 6th.
I tell y'all, Wayne Pearson's hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming 6th like a champ.
Heartbreak for Wayne Pearson as they slip down the field. Oh, this is getting intense. Wayne Pearson is just a few car lengths behind Dylan Franch.
Dang, Wayne Pearson's chasing Dylan Franz like a southern belle after a gentleman with a fat wallet. This is racier than a late-night movie marathon.
As Patrick Schwanz trails Megasaurus 55, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
Well, butter me up and put me on a biscuit. Patrick Schwanz has got a mountain to climb. But, knowing Patrick Schwanz, that's just the kind of challenge they like. Like trying to square dance in a roundhouse.
Wayne Pearson is on a mission, chasing Dylan Franch, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
The tension between Wayne Pearson and Dylan Franz is palpable as they battle for P6. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
It looks like Megasaurus 55 has found another gear in the last sector of the race.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
And it's a checkered flag for Megasaurus 55, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today.
And that's why Megasaurus 55 is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
What a fantastic race from Patrick Schwanz, who brings it home in second place.
Brilliant. Patrick Schwanz showed great skill and determination to take second place.
What a race from Mike, showing their skill and determination for a great third place finish.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Sunoiler, Rob Keane, Dylan Franch, and Wayne Pearson brings home 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 8th is maybe today Satan. Taking 9th is Mr. Bang. Colin Burton end in 10th. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Antalya Autodrome, Maine, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Colin Burton is going to be starting from 22nd. Starting from pole position is the best possible outcome for Mr. Bang. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on maybe today Satan starting in second position.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Securing the third place is Wayne Pearson.
What can they do with that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione from here?
Dylan Franch will begin the race from the 4th spot on the starting grid. In 5th place, we have Rob Keane. From the middle of the pack, we have Sunoiler in 6th place on the starting grid.
But they can't afford to be complacent. This is race day, after all.
Mike O'Hagan will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 7th on the grid.
Expect some battling with Sunoiler.
Patrick Schwanz is lining up 8th.
But they're going to have to time their moves just right if they want to come out on top.
Sitting in 9th is AccouncerBot.
But if they can find their rhythm early on, they could be a real threat.
The race has begun, full throttle ahead. This first lap is crucial, as drivers need to establish their position early on.
They're all revved up and raring to go. But they've got to be slicker than a greased pig at a county fair to dodge any early hiccups.
Now, isn't that a sight? Mr. Bang hanging tight at 1. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one. Well, ain't that a slice of vanilla? Rob's sitting pretty right where they started. Comfy as a koala in a eucalyptus tree. Out of the traps, and Mike has already made their mark in this race, Hal gaining places early on. Ripper of a disappointment for Mr. Bang. From leading the mob at 1 to tailing behind at 4, they're in more of a bind than a Conservative MP at a BDSM party.
I'm sure they're frustrated, but Mr. Bang is a fighter, and I expect we'll see them claw their way back up the field.
Crikey, mate. Mike's made a dash for it like a possum up a tree. Wonder if they had a sneaky Vegemite sandwich before the race. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage? It's a steady race for Sunoiler so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they're maintaining their focus. Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a croc handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close, it's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
Hold on to your hats. Rob is gunning for maybe today Satan. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Honestly, Rob, with this chase, I'm half expecting to see some sneaky dive bombs in the next few laps. Popcorn ready?
Wayne Pearson has the pedal to the metal chasing AccouncerBot. It's an intense battle for position as Sunoiler tries to outmaneuver Dylan Franch. This is edge of your seat racing. Now that's how it's done. Sunoiler rips through the track, while Dylan Franch watches the tail lights fade. As a former racing driver, Hal, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Megasaurus 55 is right behind Patrick Schwanz, keeping the pressure on for 7th place. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
If Patrick Schwanz pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Struth. Patrick Schwanz has taken a bit of a tumble down the order to 9th. Must have missed the memo. Mike wants to find a way around maybe today Satan. It's pedal to the metal for Mike, while maybe today Satan's got a drop bear in the cockpit, cause that move was bonkers. Things are getting spicy as Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Mr. Bang's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
Mr. Bang wants to get into Dylan Franch slipstream. With a move that's swift, I'd say Mr. Bang's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit. A tough moment for Mr. Bang, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 7th. This is a thrilling moment in the race, with Megasaurus 55 in 6th defending their position with everything they've got. But Mr. Bang is relentless, and the gap is less than 0.2 seconds. It's anyone's position at this point. The gap between Rob and maybe today Satan is razor thin as they vie for second in this nail-biting contest. Stop the press. Well, Patrick Schwanz is spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist? The adrenaline is pumping as Keen gets within striking distance of maybe today Satan in their race for second. This is what it's all about, folks. Megasaurus 55 is in hot pursuit of Dylan Franch, who's just trying to stay ahead.
If Megasaurus 55 gets any closer, they might as well ask Dylan Franz for a piggyback ride.
Maybe today Satan seems to be putting the pressure on Rob.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Gee whiz. Dylan Franch is breathing down Megasaurus 55's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Megasaurus 55's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Maybe today Satan is proper nipping at Rob's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Bloody hell. Maybe today Satan's tearing up. Sorry to cut in here. Oi.
Is it just me or?
Nah, mate, Sunoila really just took the scenic route through the outback of Antalya Autodrome, Maine. Crikey. Seems like Mr. Bang is getting in range of Sunoila. Mr. Bang is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Sunoila at the moment. You know, Hal, as a former racing driver yourself, can you give us some insights into what goes through a driver's mind during these quieter moments in a race?
Sure, Rob. During these moments, drivers often take the opportunity to assess their race strategy, monitor their car's performance, and plan their next move. It's all about staying focused and finding the right time to strike.
Dylan Franch could be looking for a way up the inside of Sunoila. Tough break for Dylan Franch, who has just lost a position. Hold up a mo. Just like my hope in finding the one, Dylan Franch's direction seems a bit lost right now. Rob has the pedal to the metal chasing maybe today Satan.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Rob's plans have gone walkabout right now. they're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with maybe today Satan. The pressure is on for Wayne Pearson as they try to catch up to Mr. Bang. Oi, Wayne Pearson has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Mr. Bang. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Yeehaw, Wayne Pearson just lassoed that lap time. Mr. Bang, you feeling a bit tied up now?
The strategy plays such a crucial role, doesn't it? Choosing when to pit, what tyre compound to use. It's like a high-speed chess game out there.
Exactly, and to think they're making these decisions on the fly, with so many variables at play. It's a mix of intuition, experience, and sheer guts. Kudos to the team strategists and drivers alike.
If racing were a dance, Wayne Pearson would be trying to lead, but Mr. Bang just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Oi, someone tell Rob always keen this isn't a Sunday Arvo drive to the bottler. Maybe today Satan's making him look a bit slow out of the gate. The rumble of the engine, the scent of the rubber, and sun oiler comfortably sitting at 7th.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, sun oiler needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Great effort from Rob Keane. Their last lap was the best we have seen from them.
Phew, Rob Keane's got more speed than my cousin Earl on his tractor when he's late for supper.
A brilliant maneuver from Rob, who has just moved up the field. Bloody hell, maybe today Satan's got to get the wind back in their sails. They're mucking about while Rob's off having a barbie with the lead. It's a dynamic landscape out there. Maybe today Satan's shift to 4th is testament to that.
Well, slap my knee and call it a dance. Maybe today Satan's taken a lil sidestep there.
With steely determination and laser focus, Mr. Bang is homing in on Wayne Pearson. The battle lines are drawn.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
A great moment for Dylan French, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
The crowd is on tender hooks as Mr. Bang in 6th chases after Wayne Pearson. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Mr. Bang find a way to catch up?
Dang, Mr. Bang is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tyre technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
The tension is building as Mr. Bang trails behind Wayne Pearson. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Wayne Pearson hold on, or will Mr. Bang be able to close them down?
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Mr. Bang tries to reel in Wayne Pearson. But Wayne Pearson is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Mr. Bang find some extra pace to bring the fight to Wayne Pearson?
It's all systems go for maybe today, Satan, marking their territory in the fourth. By the looks of it, Mike's got Rob always keen beat by a country mile. It'd take a blunder from Mike for our mate to even sniff a chance.
Kinda like waiting on rain during a Carolina summer, rare but not impossible.
Tyre degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Keen's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Mike, aren't they? It may seem like Mr. Bang is far behind, but Wayne Pearson can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Mr. Bang an opening to catch up.
If this was a game of beach cricket, Mr. Bang would be still waiting for their turn to bat. Wayne Pearson's got a good lead on them.
Wayne Pearson's pushing harder than a kangaroo in a boxing match, widening their lead over Mr. Bang. They've found their rhythm like a didgeridoo player in full swing. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the frontrunners, Mike is showing prowess in first. A top lap time there from Mike, setting their fastest lap of the session so far. Things don't seem to be going Sunoiler's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. Sunoiler's falling behind Dylan Franch at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. Alright, I've got to ask, ever tried Vegemite?
Tried it once. Reminded me of NASCAR rubber mixed with axle grease. But hey, to each their own.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Look, Mr. Bang's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Wayne Pearson is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Mr. Bang's using that draft from Wayne Pearson real effectively, shaving off tenths every lap.
You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Looks like Mr. Bang is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. Y'all ever been to a Carolina hoedown? 'Cause Mr. Bang's dancing with that car, looking to waltz right past Wayne Pearson.
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Mr. Bang, lagging behind Wayne Pearson and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Cricky. Keen's sticking to Mike like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. Mr. Bang wants to close that gap with Wayne Pearson. Keane is giving it their all as they chase down Mike O'Hagan in P1. Oi! Rob Always Keane's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Mike's got a battle ahead. On a lighter note, if I could eat, I'd kill for some of the trackside snacks right about now.
Oh, absolutely.
Hold on a second. Big gains for Rob as they move up the field, leaving Mike O'Hagan behind. Oi, Mr. Bang's giving it a red-hot go in 6th. Just a few kangaroo hops behind Wayne Pearson. Might see a cheeky move soon.
With just 0.6 seconds between them, will Mr. Bang be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
It's game on now. Mr. Bang has closed the gap to Wayne Pearson. It's now down to 0.1 seconds. I swear, Mr. Bang's on the prowl, making that leap to 5th look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue. Every move counts now as Rob works to reel in Mike and overtake for P1. Mr. Bang wants to find a way round Wayne Pearson.
Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
What a move. Mr. Bang has moved up to 5th.
That kind of move? That's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
Ever wonder about the unsung heroes of racing? The pit crew. I reckon their job's as hectic as a barman's on a Friday night in Sydney.
No doubt about it. It's like a pitmaster at a barbecue joint during a lunch rush. Everyone wants a piece, and they've got mere seconds to dish it out and make it perfect.
On the final lap now, and Mike looks like they might just wrap up this win. It's all over. Mike has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now.
What a result for Mike. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Rob Keane certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result. What a race from Megasaurus 55. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned 3rd place on the podium. With maybe today Satan, Mr. Bang, and Patrick Schwanz in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Coming in 7th we have Wayne Pearson. In 8th, it's Sun Euler. 9th sees Dylan Franch.